2021 was the year that I started reading One Piece weekly. Now, at first, I'm not gonna lie, I was really worried because obviously I read through 900 plus chapters of One Piece and watched most of the anime, unhaltered by the idea of I'm gonna have to take a weekly break. But honestly, reading this stuff week to week has been absolutely fascinating, and being along for the journey with tons of people who I've met has been honestly really just fun overall. I've seen some other people do these types of videos where they sort of recollect their favorite moments of the year in One Piece, and honestly, I wanted to do this myself because it just sounded fun and a great way to think back on all the amazing stuff that Oda has put out this year. And I just basically wanted to show my top 5 sort of chapters slash, fights if I do that, and some honorable mentions as well. They're not enough to literally be in the top 5, but these moments were super sick and I wanted to talk about them. And I'm really curious to know what your top 5 chapters or moments that happened this year are. So after you finish this video, feel free to comment below if you agree with my list or just list your own, because I'm genuinely think there's so many great moments that anyone can really have, that top 5. So for this 5th spot on this list, I've mentioned this many times, and you might see through my chapter reviews, I always have this moment of build up, like, oh my god, is this actually happening? It's Robin's fight with Black Maria. I absolutely adored all the things that Oda did for this fight. I loved Black Maria's ability to sort of enchant people and sort of put them under a spell of some kind with illusions. I thought her hybrid form was really cool. A lot of people didn't like it, but I thought the goofy spider that was her lower body was pretty hilarious, and I thought her fighting style was really interesting. The thing that made me the most excited was that Robin actually got a fight. It was just amazing because she hasn't gotten a fight throughout basically like the whole series. Last one was a fight on Skypiea versus Yama, and it's just so rewarding that one of my favorite characters is finally getting her moment in the spotlight, because Robin has always been a support, she's trying to find history. She doesn't really want to fight. She's trying to find out what's going on. And having this fight tie so much into who Robin is as a character was so great, with her seeing Saul, her mother, Professor Clover, and her realizing, I might be the demon child Nico Robin, but I'm going to become a demon if that's what it means to protect my friends. And I'm just like, that was so awesome. And plus, we get to see a super sick demon form with Demonio, Robin's new form, and we get to see what she did with the Revolutionary Army and her actually learning Fisherman Karate from Koala. It was just really great overall, and was a great vindicating moment for her character, especially when she defended Sanji from being sort of harassed by Black Maria, saying, oh, he's a joke. And then Robin said, you don't know how much it means that my friends depend on me. Plus, at the end of chapter 1021, we get the reveal that Momonosuke wanted Shinobu to use her devil fruit to make him older, which is something that we still haven't got the full payoff to yet, but it's something I'm really anticipating. So not only is this a great fight, it allowed for a great new moment to be introduced into the story. Speaking of great new moments introduced into the story, oh my god, Jinbei's fight with Who's Who. That was insane. Honestly, if I'm thinking about the entirety of reading weekly this year, the experience of reading those 2 chapters and seeing all the people theorizing about what's going on, what exactly is Who's Who talking about, it was so amazing. And the amount of people theorizing from the things that were going on around that stuff, like this sun god character, is this who Luffy is really supposed to be? The one who will free all the slaves and just bring joy to everyone around him? Is the sun god Joy Boy? What's going on? It was just absolutely fantastic. We also got the idea that Luffy's devil fruit was stolen by Shanks from the world government, and that's what caused Who's Who to be imprisoned in Marie Joie and learn about the sun god. And it's just like, what is going on? It is so sick, and it just, sorry for gushing about the lore, but it's just awesome. But honestly, the fight between Jinbei and Who's Who was really enjoyable because we got to see some CP9 techniques in Wano, which was totally unexpected unless it was from CP0. So I definitely think that these 2 chapters deserve to be in the top 5. Now, I'm not gonna lie, the struggle for what exactly is the second and the third best, in my opinion, was really, really difficult. Actually, this is being recorded after I finished recording the first place entry, just to let you know how much I've been debating this, because honestly, I've been flip-flopping a lot throughout even the process of making this video, because these two moments were so amazing, in my opinion, that it's hard for me to really, pick a favorite. But in all honesty, I think I'm going to have to go with chapter 1014. Now, for those of you who don't remember this chapter just by the number on its own, this is the chapter where Kiku was killed by Kanjuro disguised as Odin, then Kanjuro was killed by Kinemon, and then Kinemon was seemingly killed by Kaido. And the chapter started out with Kaido saying one of the most theory-inducing phrases this year, "Seems like you couldn't be Joy Boy either." And now, especially looking back on this chapter, with Kaido thinking that he is Joy Boy and not him alluding that Rocks, or maybe someone else, taught him about Joy Boy, it just gets better and better with each reread, because you pick up on something new, which is the sign of great mystery that Oda always sets up. 3 main characters are just wiped out, and Kanjuro's end was really, really great in that chapter too. Just super satisfying to read through overall. And my number 2 spot belongs to chapters 1009 and 1010. This was just a phenomenal set of action chapters from the glory that is Roof Piece, which is the 5 members of the Worst Generation versus Big Mama Kaido. And these 2 chapters were super sick. We saw Kid and Law working together pretty effortlessly to take down Big Mom, which would then literally follow up to them being paired up to fight Big Mom later on, which still hasn't happened yet, but very excited to see how that pans out in the coming year. And we also get to see some absolutely crazy stuff with Zoro actually being confirmed to have Conqueror's Haki. Many people say, it's not a confirmation. Kaido just says, could you possibly have it? But like, come on now. He did Ashura again. It cut Kaido. It was awesome. And Kaido even says that it's over. Then Luffy, right after, lays a massive smackdown on Kaido, learning how to coat his attacks in Conqueror's Haki. It was sick. These 2 chapters were just insane, but my favorite moment after all of that other stuff has to be Zoro blocking this massive attack from Big Mom and Kaido combined. And although he breaks like literally all his bones, it was just super sick to see he could even survive. So these 2 chapters were great, and I thought they were a massive highlight. Now, before I get into my number 1, I wanted to do 3 quick honorable mentions. Lucci shows up for the first time in the story since the Reverie, talking about how they want to capture Nico Robin, and that would lead the Straw Hats to going to Marie Joie to save her, and it's just so sick. Another honorable mention is Killer's fight with Hawkins. I personally absolutely love the fight, but it just didn't compare to some of my other favorite moments in this year. So I just really want to highlight it because I did not expect much from it at all. I really like Hawkins as a character, but Killer absolutely destroyed him, and it was awesome. So I really loved the fight, and I wanted to highlight it because I feel like a lot of people didn't like it as much as I did, but I thought it was great. And the last honorable mention I have is chapter 1026, which doesn't really have a specific overall thing that I liked about the chapter, but there was one ultra specific moment, and it was Luffy and Kaido splitting the sky, and then Inuarashi and Nekomamushi taking down Jack and Perospero because of that. That single moment was so awesome to me, and it really showed that Luffy is that level, and it's just awesome to see because we've seen these Yonko splitting the sky for so long, ever since Shanks and Whitebeard did it at first, and I remember geeking out about this so much, and the more I think about it, the more it's just like, this is so awesome. So really wanted to highlight this as well. And I feel like many of you might have actually predicted what my number 1 chapter is at this point, since there's a really popular one that hasn't been mentioned. It's chapter 1000, because thinking back on it and just remembering all the amazing things that happened in it, like Luffy walking right between Big Mom and Kaido to make sure Kinemon was okay, him saying, "I'm gonna take them down," and then sending Kaido to the ground by his head with just a single punch. Absolutely insane. But that's just one of the moments that was in this chapter. There was this amazing section of Ace flashbacks where Ace said to Yamato something that Luffy said directly paralleled what Roger said. And we've seen this specific sentiment done over and over and over again, but it feels so much more powerful because Yamato knows it from Oden's journal, and it just feels so much more genuine that we get this super close link to Roger. And that might sound a bit disingenuous because Shanks has said it, Crocus has said it, Rayleigh has said it, but the fact we're seeing it through this generational gap that even younger people can see this connection between the two, I think it's really, really great. Plus, my bias is very strongly coming in right now. This one page, this might be one of my favorite pages in the entirety of One Piece at this point. It really just goes to show the scale of what is happening right now, and it's the 2 Yonko, Big Mom and Kaido on the left side, and the 5 members of the worst generation on the others, and they're facing each other down on the top of Onigashima, and it's just awesome. I love this chapter so much. I'm curious, do you agree with my list? If not, I would love to know yours below. And if you enjoyed the video, check out the other videos on this channel and support your guy right here. And I'm super excited for what Oda has to bring in 2022. Hope you enjoyed the video and have a good one.